Hey everyone, this is Heather Picken, executive coach for women leaders and visionaries using neuroscience. And I'm also the founder of Fierce Femme Wines, a woman's wine inspired to create a dialogue for change. So you can check out my work. You can go to heatherpicken.com, and you can also go to fiercefemme.com, either fiercefemme.com or fiercefemmewines.com. And so today we're going to have a dialogue how your relationships will actually impact your business, either positive or negative. And I want to share a story with a true story of a client who did something very bold in a relationship. And as a result, she started aligning herself with the right people and resources. So I want to say, hey, everyone that's joined me. Hey, Marianne. Hey, Catherine. Great to have you on board. We're going to be talking about relationships. I happen to be an expert on understanding how relationships impact your business. And if you don't know my story, I have so many stories, I want to share it really quickly. So years ago, my whole theme in life has been breaking through my fears, particularly around money and men, and of course my mindset. And one time, this is like kind of my breaking down moment, where I was living with a boyfriend at the time, and I did not have a lot of money. So picture this. You're moving to a different state. You don't have a lot of money. You don't have a car. And you're moving in, with your significant other. And everything, my life totally changed in one moment because we had a fight in the middle of the night. And he told me to get my stuff out of there. And so it was like 2 a.m. I took everything that I had and I filled it with trash bags. At the time, I had my little dog, Angel. She was a little 7-pound Chihuahua. And I'm sitting there surrounded by my stuff in garbage or, like trash cans with my dog on my lap. And I'm like, how in the heck did I get here? And I realized in that moment that I was choosing to be in these relationships that were negatively impacting my business. And I could talk more about the story, but I want to shorten this up and let you know, as soon as I got into my power, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to let this happen to me. I'm not going to get to this place ever again. I set an intention that not only was I going to change my life, but I was going to empower millions of women on this planet, women visionaries, women leaders, women in general. And in 6 months, my entire business changed because I was choosing myself. And so I realized by working not only on myself, but understanding neuroscience, how we're wired and how we can actually stay in a relationship, even though we know consciously it's not a good relationship, we'll stay in it. We'll stay in it, and then we'll watch our businesses fall apart. My business really was falling apart because I was allowing myself to stay in this relationship. I don't know if you can relate. If anyone can relate, if you've ever been in a relationship and you have a business, or maybe it's your career, and all of a sudden everything goes sideways, okay? And I've been there more than once, more than twice, more than 3 times. I think I stopped counting. Today, I'm in a great relationship because I understand the formula. I understand, that if you're not following your truth, if you're not really owning your power, what happens is you start attracting chaos in your business and in your life. So hopefully you're watching this and you're in a good relationship, but if you're not, I want to share a quick little story with you. So I had a client that started working with me, and she had some health issues. And so what I do when I'm working with a client, I work very holistically. And I kind of scan the 7 areas of someone's life to see, instead of focusing on the marketing first, like really look, what's going on? Like, you want to be over here, but what's really going on? And so the things that she was disempowered or that she had challenges in was her health and her relationships. Okay. And so we started looking at that, and I'm like, okay, this relationship doesn't really seem like, it's working for you. And, you know, what's interesting is that she said she was in this relationship for 6 years. And I'm just going to kind of shortcut this story because there's so many pieces to this. But when I helped her to start getting clear on her vision, what was interesting is that she realized that the relationship that she was in was no longer going to serve her vision, mission, and purpose. Because if you are completely aligned in every area of your life, you will magnetize and attract the right people and resources. I 100%, 1000% guarantee it. I see it all the time. And what was interesting is that she was scared to leave this relationship, because what happens is that when you get a relationship, and let's just say you're staying in it, a lot of times I would say the number one reason why women won't leave is because of fear. Okay. They're afraid they're going to hurt the person. They're afraid maybe that person is supporting them financially, and they don't believe they have the resources to build their business. So they're staying in this relationship even though their business is stuck, or sometimes even going backwards. And so this was what was going on. She was at a sticking point, and she's a very smart woman. So it's like I work with highly intelligent women that will sometimes be in these relationships. They'll attract these relationships that are all over the place. And so we started to look at some of the limiting beliefs she had around relationships. There were things that were happening in her past as to why she would attract certain men in her life. And so we got to this place. This was so beautiful. As I was helping her to get clear on her vision, I'm like, what do you want? Like, what is it? If I can wave a magic wand, what would that be? And so she started to tell me about, you know, how she wanted to speak and write a book. And, you know, she just wanted to get her work out there and her message. And as we started to clarify it, she realized, like, yeah, this relationship, it's not going to serve me. And so one of the things I had to do is help her to break the addiction of being in this relationship. So on a chemical level, when you are in a relationship with someone, you actually are chemically bonded to them. So did you know the moment that you kiss someone, you're chemically bonded? And so isn't it interesting how women think, oh, you know, just because I'm intimate with that person, oh, I love them. And then they don't really understand what's going on a chemical level. So I helped her to break through that chemical addiction. And so she could see, she had a balanced mind so that she could see that if I choose to be in this relationship, my business isn't going to go anywhere. And the moment that she got clear and she was choosing herself, what happened is that every single cell in her body was tingling. She was on the phone actually visiting her daughter. She was in California, and we had a session. I went through the process, and she's like, I can't believe this. Every single cell in my body feels vibrant. And as I mentioned earlier, she had a health issue. I'm not going to say what it is, but she had a very, we'll just say a very severe health issue. In the moment when I helped her to shift, all of those symptoms, it seemed like they went away because she felt like she was back in her power, which was really cool. Now, it was like a day later, a couple days after that, what was interesting, and I really want you to get this, is she started to align herself with the people and opportunities. And she said, you're not going to believe this. I just got a speaking engagement. I just got someone that wants to write for a column for a magazine, a really big magazine. And I said, of course I believe it, because that's what happens. When you follow your truth, when you know who you are, and you're unwavering on what you want to do with your vision, mission, and business, you start attracting those people into your life. And what's interesting is, like, your brain is like this filtering system. So when you're not following your formula, and everyone has a unique fingerprint specific formula, if you follow it, you will start magnetizing and attracting clients that feel like it's out of the blue. You'll start being in the flow of your business instead of feeling like you have to force things. So have you ever just like wake up and then you're like, oh, I just feel like I'm forcing things. Like, I don't want to do that. Well, you're not in the flow. So you want to look at your life, you want to scan your life and go around the 7 areas of life. And I talk about that in my book, The Dolce Vita Formula, and ask yourself, am I being 100% congruent and true to myself? If you're not, what's going to happen, and I find this happens a lot, is your body will give you feedback to your conscious mind to get you to pay attention. You might have autoimmune diseases. You might, attract reoccurring illnesses, like you're constantly and chronically sick. And what's interesting is that there's something called psychoneuroimmunology, and that's the study of how the mind impacts disease. So we now know this. And it's through our perceptions. If we perceive that being in that relationship is more challenge than support, therefore, we will activate the sympathetic system, which is fight or flight, which will create dis-ease in the body. So it's important as a woman visionary, as a woman leader, that you are clear on what you want, not just in your business, but every area of your life. You will be amazed once you start choosing yourself that you start attracting the right people and resources. And I find a lot of times, for women, we feel like we have to save that other person in the relationship. And I'm here to tell you, you are not here to save anyone. You are here to be true to yourself, because if you're not true to yourself, then what's going to happen? You're going to start resenting the other person. But most of all, you're going to resent yourself. And you can never create a big vision, mission, and purpose if you're feeling like there is an internal conflict, because anytime you have an internal conflict between the conscious mind and subconscious, the subconscious is going to win. And your subconscious is really just a combination of all your beliefs, all your dominant thought patterns, and you keep reinforcing it, therefore staying in that same crappy relationship. And we're talking about relationships in business. And of course, the negative effect is that it impacts your bottom line. And I've seen this happen with clients that come to me. I cannot tell you how many women I've worked with, either I've helped their relationship or they're in a bad relationship, and they realize, oh my gosh, Heather, I'm in the wrong relationship. This is ruining my health. It's ruining my business. So moral to the story here today, everyone that's joined me, if you are in a relationship that is not aligned with who you are, give yourself permission to choose yourself. Because if you don't, I will tell you, if you have a business, it is going to drain your bank account. I can 100% guarantee that. If it doesn't drain your bank account, it will manifest in your body. You'll start getting sick more often, and getting a cold, or you can't recover. Your immune system starts to break down. So that's why my mission and purpose is to empower women in their business, women leaders, women in general, to follow their unique formula. So let me know if this resonates with you. Are you on the fence? Are you in a relationship where it's like, my power is slowly diminishing? And a lot of times I will tell you, with relationships, let's just say you want to stay in the relationship, but you feel like you can't use your voice. Now is the best opportunity to find your voice and actually transform that relationship. So I work with a lot of clients that, again, they come to me for business, and all of a sudden they're asking themselves, should I really stay in this relationship? Because it's allowing me to be all over the place, right? My energy's scattered. I start feeling like this gut in my, or this pain in my stomach, right? And so you want to tune into your body to notice if you are in that right relationship, or even if you need to say something to your partner, because if you don't, then what happens is you stay stuck. So let me know if you are listening to this on the replay. Just type in R, or if you're listening right now live, and if this makes sense. If this makes sense. I feel like the right people are tuning into this message that really need to hear about this. One more thing I will say this before I go, because I have to do an interview, is that you know, a lot of times women cannot make this decision right away. They have to give themselves the space and time to see how they feel, you know, with that relationship. And so one of the things I would do is start keeping a journal. Do you feel aligned with your vision? Do you find like you're creating inspiring ideas because you're in the right relationship? Or do you find that, you know, the only thing that's taking up space and time in your mind, I call this the real estate of your mind, is that relationship, right? And then you're having that internal conversation. Why did he do this? And da 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 da. So you want to do that inner check and give yourself the permission to spend time in having that reflective awareness. So I hope this helps today. If you're wanting more information about how to really find your unique formula, how to activate your superpower and get clear on your vision, I actually have a free training on my website if you go to heatherpicken.com. So until next time, have a fearless day, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.